Hey guys, I'm playing 5 Minute, and I'm playing a German guy, Alex. I'm going to play the advanced Caro-Kann. Oh, he played c5. c5 is an annoying move. I know Keith Arkell is one guy who plays this quite well. I think bishop e3 is the move. Knight d7. Let's try to hold on to this pawn. I'll do my level best to hold it. Queen d4 now would be the way to hold it if I want to. Alright, let's try it. Knight coming to f5 from the looks of it. Already he's getting some compensation. Probably this is the principled move. And if knight f5, I have to play queen f4. If I want to save that guy. I'm being pretty greedy with this line, but if he plays c5 on move 3, I mean, it's hard to believe any other move for white would be good other than taking. He's got a lot of stuff he could do. He could undermine my b4 pawn by playing a5. That's what he does. I think I'm just obliged to play this move if he does that. What else could he do? He could try to kick my queen off of f4. I mean, it's possible to play something radical like g5. Ooh, I wonder if that's a big problem. Yeah, because if I take, he plays g5. If I take with my queen, he can take here, and isn't my rook just in trouble? I don't like the look of that. I do not like the look of that. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I'm going to take with my queen. I'm not happy about that, but I just noticed the problem with this diagonal. Pawn Structure of the Year award, guys. Goes to this guy, Finns, right now. This is so bad. I'm going to do my best with what I've got, though. Oh my gosh, this is awful pawn structure. a4. a4 he takes on e3. Jeez. I think I might be busted already. I'm going to have to do something really poor. Let's do this, and then when he takes it, I have to play queen f1. Let's develop. Yikes. Yeah, I've never seen that knight d7 move. Then again, it's been ages since I've had to play against this line, but I feel like I shouldn't have done this poorly. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to write myself off yet. I'm down a pawn, but you know, one pawn does not win a game most of the time, especially in Blitz. He should probably just retreat his bishop. I'd say bishop h6. He has some minor difficulties getting his light square bishop out. Wants to play his knight and then move his light square bishop. Queen c5, why would you do that? Oh, does he want to play e5 maybe? To defend the d5 pawn? But now I have knight b3 if he does that.
Check.
So he takes. Okay. Ooh. Okay, if I take, he can take on b5. If I take with the queen, that is. And I take, he takes on a1. He goes to the corner. It's not good for me. So I should take with the knight. Should I? Even knight takes is not so great. I'm going to take with the king. By process of elimination. King must be the right one. Trade queens with me, please. I wouldn't mind a queen trade. I'm down a pawn, but my king is in the middle. I can turn it from a constant weakness to a strength if he trades queens. Okay, so he only wants to trade if it's on his terms. You have a right to do that. If I take d7, he takes e3, I take. It's no good. Well, okay, let's do this. I'm just going to try to simplify. If I don't take his knight, I'm afraid of it jumping to like e5 or b6. He takes there, yeah. That's probably the better capture. No, I want to save my bishop. That's so awful, though. Whatever, let's do it. You can go f2 now. Or that. Let's get counterplay. I gotta activate my rooks. It's my only chance. Maybe this move. It's my only chance, folks. Rook f1. Rook f3 check's probably a good move. I'm just trying to navigate this to like a, I don't know, some sort of theoretical endgame where I might have a chance. Okay, let's just take that. Or trade. Take. Go here. Okay, I mean, this is not terrible. This might be holdable. Let's push the h-pawn. This might not be so bad. Let's push it again.
Check.
Okay, so he's going to go
Check.
after that h-pawn. Now I get to bring this over. Okay, this position is a draw. That does not mean that I'm going to be able to hold it with no problem. It's just that it's a draw. Possibly I'm even messing it up. Yeah, I don't know why I pushed h4. Don't know why.
Time warning.
Okay,
Check.
let's do that. This might be a horrible decision. Oh, yeah, he can push h4. Stupid. Stupid of me. h4, king g4, h3, take. And he would be winning.
Check.
However, now it's like a opposition thing. I think I'm still losing, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not, though. No, this is a draw. It's a draw now. Once again, I might get flagged in a drawn ending.
Draw.
But it's my fault if he flags me. Let's see if he's merciful or not. He's deciding. He can't decide. He's going to go for the flag.
Draw.
Oh, he's nice. Thanks, dude. I'm going to tell him thanks. Okay. Well, in this position, like it's kind of surprising, but like sometimes you can draw these positions by just going for a position where they have the protected pass pawn, but their other pawn is too far back to make a difference. So even though such an ending is usually won just by the stronger side bringing their king around and outflanking, here he's hampered by the fact that, let's just like do an illustrative variation. Let's say he plays king c6 here. I can do this. I'm still within the square of this pawn if it runs. And if he does this, I think... Okay, actually... No, he still wins here because it's a knight pawn. Yeah, so this was winning for him because I have a knight pawn. He would just start checking me and try to force me onto the g8 square. Whoops, not that one. Check here, let's say. And if I try to stick around,
check.
I can only do this for so long.
Check.
Like, he goes here, and this is the method.
Check.
Check. Force the king in front of the pawn, and then bring your king closer. And then, if this happens, you just repeat the process. So, like,
check.
Let's say check.
Check. Check.
Let's say here.
Check. Check.
And then bring the king closer, and black's going to be winning very soon. If I had a rook pawn or a knight, or a bishop pawn, that is, so f or h pawn, this ending with the pawn on the 7th rank would be a draw because of stalemate resources. Although his king is kind of close, so even that, there might be some problems, but I think it would still be a draw. Okay, so actually he could have probably won by doing that. Because in this position, if he goes king c6 and I can't play king e5, I gotta be busted, I would believe. Yeah. King e5, king here, king here. Now he can run, take, here, 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 here. Yeah, I'm a tempo too short. The other thing is, he could have just won with an opposition theme, too. So he could have played, after the trade, I think he could just go here. And then after this, play h3. And take, take. Now his king is in front of the pawn, right? So I play king g3. But what should he do here? If you want to pause your video, you can. Black to move and win. If you said g6, you are correct. So this is the way for black to get the opposition back from white. Now I have to choose a side with my king. And I tell my students, in these scenarios, you're fighting for control of these 3 squares. There's no move I can make with the white king here that will keep control over all 3 of those squares. So, if I go king f3, I still control these 2, but I can't control that one. That's the square he wants to go to. And he'll win now. He's just clearing a path in front of his pawn. So actually, it was really bad for me to play h4, I believe. I probably should have just, like, the cleanest way of all in this position might just be to move my king to g4, g3. So it doesn't get cut off when he plays rook g5. That would have been much better than what I did. So I did this, and then he played rook g5. And I got a little nervy here. I mean, he's not really threatening much. He maybe has one idea of, like, trying to bring his king into h3 and maybe play rook g2 someday and win the h-pawn. But I think this is still well within the boundaries of a draw. But h4 was not good. Let's see. Rook g1. Okay, so I had to play rook b4. So that if h5, trying to go after the pawn, I can move my king back. So I didn't manage to find that move. I played this. h5. Yeah, now I should be losing. Engine says h4. Yeah, made in 30. 29. Let's just verify that other line.
Check.
Oh. Oh, I'm still drawing this. Oh, I went backwards, king f4. That's still a draw? Really? Wait, what am I missing? King c6. King e4. Aha. That is clever. Okay, yeah, because king e5, the direct king e5 is losing. Engine agrees. King c5. Whoops. King c5. But king e4. Aha. So this will allow me to maintain the opposition. I'm going to turn off the engine, but that's a really good finding. I didn't even stop to think that that might be a possibility for me. Because after this, if he tries to begin outflanking me with the eventual goal of working his king around and getting that pawn, I can go here. And white seems to hold the draw because there's no way for black to get around the white king. And there's ideas involving corresponding squares. So let's say he goes here. I don't think I should follow him any further. Actually, I could because I'm still within the square of the pawn. So maybe I could do that. Let's say he goes here. I wouldn't want to play king c3 because then I'm too far away. He'll just push the pawn. But what would be the correct move for white in this position? If you said king e3, you are correct. So keeping the opposition. I define the opposition as involving 3 criteria. So it's when the kings are on the same color square. There's an odd number of squares in between the kings. And that can be either along a file or in this case along a rank. Usually it's along a file, but sometimes it's a rank. And the third criteria is that it's the opponent's turn to move. So if you have kings on same color square, odd number of squares in between along the file or rank, and it's the opponent's turn to move, you should get your desired result based on that. So if you're the side that's playing for the draw, you'll secure the draw. If you're the side playing for the win, you'll get the win if you have the opposition then. So we just put this up again. Yeah, so in this position, I think king e3 would be the only move that holds. No other move works. Yeah, this is just allowing h4. King d3 is bad because he can go here. Now he's going to be able to get around my king. I got to choose a side. Remember the fighting for the 3 squares thing? I have to choose one way to go, and he's going to go the opposite way. So if I go here, he's going here. And he'll eventually work his way over. Or I'll have to make a break for this pawn, and we saw what happened there. It doesn't matter that the king is farther away than it was before, because even if this happens again, let's say king d3, he'll still win when I have my g-pawn on g7 by using that same technique of checking me and forcing my king in front of the pawn. Okay, this is why it's good to double check with the engine, because I was about ready to wrap this video up, but then I thought, you know, let's just check to make sure I'm getting this correctly. But yeah, king e4, that would be a nice saving move. And he can't win. He just can't do it. I mean, that would be a hard move to find in time pressure, but this might be a useful method to know OTB. No, there's just nothing to do. If king here, I can go here. I mean, if you're black, you could try various ways to trick white. Like, let's say king a5. White's going to have to play king e5. Corresponding squares. White maintains the opposition. You know, maybe you do something really tricky like king a6. Right? Because if white follows you, hey, they're outside the square of the pawn again. They're going to win. But if white goes king e4, keeping a file of distance in between, or sorry, a rank of distance in between the kings, that works because if the king advances up the board to a5 or b5, white has a corresponding square on d5 and e5. And if king here, king d4. Again, corresponding squares. Okay. So I think that's about enough about this endgame. But yeah, simple-ish endgame that was losing for me in multiple ways, but luckily I ended up drawing and turned out to be instructive too. So I hope you guys picked up a thing or two about the opposition. Again, easy definition of the opposition. It's when the kings are on the same color square. There's an odd number of squares in between the kings along the file or rank, and it's the opponent's turn to move. That's very important. It's the opponent's turn to move. Okay, if you have any questions about that concept or this game, please leave me any feedback in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys later.